that brought me to this point. After I was born in Mercy Hospital in San Diego, we lived in a homeless shelter, St. Vincent de Paul Village, because my mom's sister and I had no place to stay. I know this because we had pictures of me as a happy baby laughing with my mom and sister in a shelter. After living in the shelter, we moved 3 times before living in one place for 5 years, a trailer home that belonged to a man my mother knew. When we moved in, the man who owned the trailer home only came to visit once a year for 4 years. Then on the 5th year, he came and lived with us. What I remember from the first 4 years in the trailer home is that I loved to draw. I would always have such a great imagination. I still do, but I would just draw a lot of random stuff and just be so creative with it. I would always feel so safe and like no one can bother me. But when that man moved in with us, he said my artwork was bad and he bullied me about it and made me not really into making art. So I turned to music and I started playing the violin. We had to leave the trailer home because he would scream at me and my sister, and my mom would defend us, so that caused a lot of problems. Next, we lived with my mom's friend Ruby when I was in 5th and 6th grade. At Ruby's house, I got to practice the violin 2 hours a day without anyone really interrupting or complaining. I started to get really good. I worked up to becoming the top violinist in my orchestra. I wrote my own song, and I even got to conduct the whole orchestra. We had the best music teacher. He made me feel like I was worthwhile. While we lived in Ruby's house, my mom met a man who became her boyfriend, and we moved in to his house, and that's when everything started falling apart. I was in middle school. I was growing and changing like any other 12 or 13-year-old. My mom's boyfriend was domestically violent. I was angry. So I stopped making music or art, and I started hurting myself and using drugs. I can see now that those were my coping skills. We only lived with him for 1 year. My mom was really brave and left her boyfriend, and he was no longer in our lives. We got our own place. When I was in the 9th grade, my mom bought me some paints. I painted a very colorful tree on my closet door. My mom saw it and she believed it had potential. My mom works really hard every day to take care of all of us. She spent a lot of her money on canvases and paints and art supplies for me. I decided to stop using drugs every day and started to do art again. But having paints at home was not enough. I was still tormented by the issues left over from the drugs I took and the hard times we had. I had to be homeschooled for 10th, 11th, and 12th grade to help stay away from the drugs and some bad influences. Emotionally, I was struggling really bad. I was having some panic attacks. This brings us back to New Year's 2014 when I was at Rady's Children's Hospital. During my recovery, I met a social worker named Miss Maria. She talked about reasons to survive and how it would be a good, safe place for me to express myself. So she gave me an application and I signed one part of it, and as soon as I got out of the hospital, my mom and I called arts. And that's when I met Kat, a nice lady who made me feel welcome and safe. At the end of January of this year, my mom and I came in one day to the art center, and when I came to the art center, it was like coming to an art museum. There was a lot of art everywhere with bright, wonderful, warm colors. I felt like I was where I needed to be. My mom and I sat down with Kat in the student gallery with kids' art all over the place. Kat said I should think about becoming an Empower student. So maybe I am good enough. I went back to the hospital once with a panic attack, but I was so mad at myself that I missed classes at arts that I never went back to the hospital again. And I haven't hurt myself since. Being part of a Reasons to Survive has made me stay away from the hospital and kept me strong. It's literally given me a reason to survive. Over the last 11 months, I have become an Empower student. I come to the art center 4 to 6 days a week, and every time I come to arts, I feel so happy. When I look around, I always find some new art that I haven't spotted before. It's just an amazing feeling. I love being around all these artists that love what I love to do, art. And now I can call those people my friends. Me and my good friend Carla, who I met at Reasons to Survive, have an internship with our mentor Rob. We recently finished a mosaic mural for Borderfield State Park, which is at the Mexican-American border in San Diego. Rob is cool. I learned a lot from him, and he's always there for us when we're having a bad day. He is also an amazing artist. At Arts, I finally realized that I am an artist, too. What really inspires my work is nature and people. I just love landscapes and how beautiful the earth is, and the beauty of people within themselves is amazing. Art to me is a way out of anxiety, depression, and anything bad. Art to me is a healing guide throughout life. Art continues to help me even today to get through my current negativity. Without art and my arts family in my life, I would struggle so much more, and I wouldn't be as healthy as I am today. I have dreams for my life as an artist. My dreams with my art is to really impact people and show them that they can do anything they put their mind to, that you can share your story in all different types of mediums. And I just want to help people see who I really am and who they are through art. At Arts, we talk about my future and about my dreams to go to college, and the possibility of becoming a psychiatric nurse or an art therapist. But I will always stick with my art. I feel like a reason to survive gives me stability and confidence. At Arts, I learned so many skills like painting, drawing, clay, mosaic art, and music. With arts in my life, I have hope that my dreams will come true. Thank you.
Didn't she do a great job? Yeah, it's incredible. We're very honored to be invited here. Even today is part of our process. You know, this of new experiences for Jessica. Yesterday was the first time she was ever on a plane. And now she comes to do public speaking and sharing a very personal story in front of 700 people. And these are skills and building blocks that she can carry with her throughout life. And so we're very, very proud of you. I'd also like to thank Adriana, Jessica's mom, for her support and her strength. You know, we were together last night and I was overhearing a conversation and Jessica was telling her mom that she gets her strength from her. And you've raised a very creative and strong woman, and it reflects, because that's what you are. So thank you for all your support and being with us this week at the conference. So that's our program. We hope you are inspired a little bit, hope maybe you learned some things you can carry back with you, and to continue fighting the important fight that we're all on. If you ever get frustrated, think of Jessica, because you guys all have Jessicas in your own world. So thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Jessica. I am Mark Wolf. I'm your training director with RITAC. I've got a couple of housekeeping things before we send you on your way this afternoon. We hope that you're enjoying your conference. We have a full afternoon planned. But before I go into the couple of housekeeping things that I'm going to go into, I did want to take this opportunity to thank the very many people that helped make this conference possible. Just very briefly, I do want to thank first our FISBE partners, especially our project officer for RITAC, Gloria Watkins, who couldn't be with us today. I want to thank the RITAC staff, the National Safe Place Network staff, and especially the leadership of those programs. You all know Tammy Hopper, Lori Jackson. They provide a special leadership. I also want to give a special thanks to your RITAC Advisory Board, who has worked very hard in making this conference possible. And then finally, or not finally, but I also want to thank the Conference Planning Committee, who started about 10 months ago, working with us, planning this out, deciding workshops, deciding pre-institutes, participating in all of these things. It's been incredible. So this was a huge effort, but certainly worthwhile, and we hope that you're enjoying the experience. But the final group that I want to thank is you.